This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Circuit Barrakill, Remy Asalia, Arcadia Lunashine, Alex Franco AV, Casey Schaefer, Azuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Nat Clay, Lily Black, AJ Brainswordson, Bob CC, Mikta Rappentau, Faris Gentoru, Sapa Chakwatol, Edwin, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Winebow Brood, Pamela Isley, Camille Grino, Face on Masher, Elenriel Maximus, Code Red No, Mira Miri, Bay Barbale, Suno Chicano, Celesto Notral, Lazy Boy, A Bag of Dragonite, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Storm Arrow, Tex, and Yowie Wowie. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to episode 250. I'm Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today, of course, by Georgi Wiston and Rollo Des.
Oh, it's me.
It's episode 250. Okay, that's all. That's all. We have survived 250 episodes. We don't celebrate this anymore,
Speakers is just a constant now. You should know that.
Yeah, we celebrate every 100th. So 550, one more year. Oh my god, 50 episodes is a year.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. We've been here forever.
This time next year, we'll be at episode 300. All right. It is June 12th, 2021, which means E3 has kicked off. I do have E3 open in the tiniest window known to man on my laptop here. So if there's like a big thing that's revealed, don't worry, it's not going to happen. But if there is a big reveal, then I will scream it out live if you're watching. If you're watching live. If you're watching this... For VOD viewers, it's going to be really annoying if I go, oh my god, Age of Empires 100 has been announced. And they're like, Age of Empires 100 was announced 6 days ago. All right, anyways. Yeah, they've gone really far, really far. I bet you didn't know that they're at that last year they released 99 and 100 is expected this year. All right, so today we're gonna read 2 interviews with Yoshi-P, one with Gamer Escape and one with a German video game magazine called Buffed. So there's some interesting points in there, and of course we have to discuss the fact that the 14-hour stream has been announced for this year. It's happening this year as well. So that's big hype. We'll also read MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Stay tuned for the post show. We'll be reading questions from the Syndicate. All right, with that out of the way, I think we can get into some recent events. Whoosh. We have some new optional items. So, just so you know, big warning, we're about to just do a lot of Oh! You didn't spend that moment of me, like, forgetting to mute the alerts to put in a message there. I appreciate that.
Could have said anything. This could have been your moment.
Right. So, yeah, for this part of recent events, it's going to be a lot of shilling. Just so you know that. There's going to be a lot. We are a walking ad right now. There's a new emote and some new gear that's been made available on the Final Fantasy XIV online store. Also, we have to mention this at the end. Right, so that's it. It's like a cherry blossom thing emote Remember when that used to be just an item? Just an item you got on Little Ladies Day? Now, you get it as an emote. I think it's got a little extra more color variation on the petals, but other than that, it's the same thing. There's also this gear that's... I don't use the word... I do use the word weeb very, very often. So I'm going to use the word weeb.
Don't you know you're playing a Japanese game?
Oh, that's always the counter. That's always the counter every time. Yeah, it's, it is whatever. It looks like Naruto. It could have been a Naruto, this gear. Someone in Naruto could have worn this.
It's got that real kind of like Ronin kind of look.
Yeah. So there you go. It is available right now. It became available 2 days ago, June 10th.
I like it because it's got a headband, and I think it's non-job locked. If anyone else can tell me about a non-job locked dyeable headband in the game, please let me know.
I hope you enjoy that.
Non-dyeable?
Yeah. Non-dyeable.
I mean, dyeable. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, all the way around.
Because you could use that one.
The ones that I can think of are all non-dyeable, or they're job locked.
Yeah. Enjoy that, Vieira and Rothgar. Oops. Moving on.
Vieira is using it.
Really?
In the promo picture.
Oh yeah, the Vieira. Good luck using that, Rothgar. Oop. Do you think Rothgar can wear it? Does it say that anywhere?
Probably. It doesn't say anything, but
you know what?
I feel like anything Vieira can wear, Rothgar can wear normally.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Vieira and Rothgar. You can wear this! Woo! Okay. Oh, wait. Sorry. You can't hear it. One more time. There you go. You just so it's extra loud. Right. So, let's look at some more merchandise. You wouldn't know, but the dev blog has been pumping out posts recently, and Square Enix is trying very hard to just not tell anyone. It's very bizarre. We talked about this before, how the poor people working at the dev blog, they just get no love. So here's the merchandise spotlight. Let's just jump into that. This is the stuff that's available on the Square Enix store. Greetings, this is Sexos from the community team. We'd like to showcase some of the new merchandise that was recently unveiled during the Digital Fan Festival. We'll be looking at the full range of new merchandise that debuted, but please note that several items may have already been sold out. We'll get back to that in the main story today. Be-helmeted Serpent of Ronka plushie.
So cute.
You know what? We may not even have to... You know what? I'm not going to even read their sales pitch. Let's just look at the picture and describe what we look at. Yeah. There's the little Ronka baby.
The helmeted one. The behelmeted one. I think a regular Great Serpent of Ronka plushie already exists. So now you can have one that has a helmet.
Yes. There's also the wine glasses, which... Yeah. Here's the thing... I feel like when it comes to wine, I'm not one to talk. I always drink from this cup where you literally can't see anything. But there's something about drinking something from a glass cup that you can't see the contents of that I find, I don't know, I find it strange. Especially with a wine glass. I'm like, isn't part of the, I don't know, it's there's something about this wine glass that's a bit tacky to me. But
it's a little.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's cool to us.
Yeah. I want it. But
I assume they're made out of glass. Otherwise, they wouldn't say wine glasses.
Oh my god!
But they look like they're made out of plastic.
No.
Well, if they're made of plastic, that fucking sucks.
At that price, that would suck.
Yeah.
They poured some tea. Oh, they promised it was tea in them. Okay.
I drink on the job.
It
I don't know
added
about you guys.
a sense of luxury.
Why is one of the boxes... So there's one box that's got blue silk and the other one's got purple silk. Do you not get to choose? Is it random?
Yeah, and also the box, like, you see the lip here? It's like, it's purple. So this is blue. So,
Like, what's Explain this.
Maybe this is
Why
from like
it
a
not...
product test. Like this is actually like sample boxes, and they're trying to decide in this picture.
Okay.
I don't. Oh yeah, it says we debated on different types of boxes and what color the cloth should be inside. There you go. They explained it.
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you which one they chose.
No, I think on the store they went for this one. This is the one I remember from the store.
I think I like the purple one more.
Yeah. This is the book style storage box. I mean, what is that? Oh, is that Norvrant?
That's Norvrant.
Yeah. It's alright. I would prefer another Encyclopedia Eorzea over this, but hey, a cool box.
I would prefer a cloth map of the 3 great continents.
Didn't they already do that? Oh wait, no, not 3 great continents.
1.0.
That was just Eorzea.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like how the top cover is just like...
They did that. No. They did the 3 great continents for Stormblood.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. All right, I have that map.
But why did they cut Ilsebard like that in the picture?
Yeah, it's
on the cover.
The cut is unfortunate. Yeah. That's the problem with the map of the 3 great continents. It's very long.
It is very long.
It doesn't wrap well on anything. This is probably my favorite thing. It's the job magnets.
I love a good magnet.
They're €5 each, which is really funny because I'm like, maybe I'll just buy a magnet. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a magnet. All right, that's €37 in shipping, please. What?
So how do you live in Europe? This sounds miserable.
No, this is Square Enix. No, literally nowhere else do I have to deal with shipping prices like these. It is only from the Square Enix store. But yeah, there you go. That's yeah, go on.
Have we ever talked about which job stones look most nice and which ones look ugly?
Well, we already know that Rollo made fun of my egg.
Yeah, because it looks like a fucking suppository.
Suppositories aren't that round.
I think I don't know which one's my favorite. I do like the
I like the shape of the summoner one. I think it's very unpleasant to the eye. I do like the Dark Knight and the Machinist one.
The Dark Knight one is very cool.
I don't like the shape of the samurai one. It's too haphazard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The edges look too sharp. You can get hurt.
I do like.
It's not that they look too sharp. It just looks too not nicely cut.
The Red Mage one is cool as well. I do like the way it looks. All right, well there you go. It can be yours for €5 if you're in Europe. If you're in Northern Europe, you have to pay €50 for one. So enjoy that. Next, the Crystal Exarch Final Fantasy XIV figure. This is a very small. This is a small figure. Just want to point, just
16
as a warning.
centimeters.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I mean
we've seen
that
it.
Sounds about right.
Well, with the price, I don't know. We talk about this.
I mean, you're
time.
right with the price.
Everything on that store is priced ridiculously. Like they know that people will just buy anything they put up, whatever the price.
Yeah.
So,
listen, don't judge me. This is the only piece of expensive merch I bought from Square Enix. Okay.
You bought this, Rollo?
Yeah, I bought this one.
What is it like?
Oh,
well, then we
cool.
have a first-hand review, Rollo.
Oh, okay, sure.
How do you feel about this statue or this?
How easily
figure?
can he be eaten? I'll give you that review.
Can you read that line that's in the middle of the screen right now?
Although the pose is quite simple, the stance conveys the Exarch's charisma. Love that. Love
his
that
arthritis hands. Just...
He doesn't. So we've talked about why is he so charismatic as the Exarch, and then he's a fucking dork when he's
because he's like he has the hood on most of the time. He can hide his face, and then when he takes the mask off, he wasn't the same.
Well, I just find it difficult to believe that a man that has such difficulty lying to a bootlegger or whatever that person was,
yeah,
can inspire an entire city and almost continent of people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from
I'll
the
say
yeah.
I don't know about this paint job.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that,
sometimes a little bit higher quality than an amiibo, but that's not saying much.
Would you say it is worth the price?
No, it is
Okay.
not.
There
A
you
lot of Square Enix merchandise is not worth the price.
No.
You buy it because you like it, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. There's some more close-ups here of the statue.
I'll say the crystal details on him look nice along with the staff.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
face paint job is, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
pre-production
that's-
model probably, so
Yeah.
I've never thought about before how his arm is see-through. That weirds me out.
Yeah.
your hand in front
That'd
of
be
it.
like, it's not that weird because this is a statue, but thinking about it from the perspective of the characters in game, that's strange.
Yeah. There's also an Ardbert one, which is slightly higher at 19 centimeters, 7.5 inches. Yeah, the faces are off.
It's you ever seen that one Martha amiibo that's just really
Yeah.
also known as Morph?
Yeah. Yes.
Same vibes, but again, the body detail looks great. Like that.
Yeah,
shoulder,
this looks cool. Yeah.
it looks real good. It's
Yeah.
just I don't.
The sculpting looks nice. It's
Yeah.
the paint job that is questionable.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There they
Size
are.
comparison.
Yeah. Next is the personal organizer. That's what that is. Don't know what else. I mean, I like the design.
Yeah.
It's too fucking expensive for what it is.
Again, none of this merch is worth it for the money.
No.
Not a single one. Maybe like the magnets, because you can just get the one you like, and that's like less than $5 usually.
Yeah.
You get it because you like it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But this, I feel like this is the kind of merch that you don't buy. You like it, but this is a notebook. This is like why this? I mean, I don't remember the price exactly. Isn't it like 50 euros or something crazy?
Let me find it right now for you. Hold on.
Yeah.
What I don't-
organizer.
Why does this dev blog not link to the show to the store pages?
I don't know.
This is $50 dues.
Holy farts.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly.
And how much is that to euros?
Well, it's probably you know how they
it's-
do that. They do that in on the Square Enix store. They'd be like, $50. That's 50 euros. That's
Yeah.
probably how it is. Yeah. So, plus shipping for me. So we're talking like we're in the high 80s, baby, for this. We're almost in the. I almost have to pay 90 euros for this probably. Goodness Christ. All right.
No adjustments if you got this. Just
No, you can get what you want.
know.
We're just pointing out these are
Like,
good
this is-
Buy them.
products. Surely.
like this is. You could buy this on Amazon for like $5.
You could. Yeah.
You get this because you like Final Fantasy 14, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
No. Foldable eyeglass case, which I was like, okay, I haven't had a case for my glasses oh my god, it's been so long since I've lost it so long ago. But
How much is this one?
This one's like, yeah.
Okay, this one's like more reasonable-ish. It's like 25 USD, so
Okay.
it's on the higher end, but I could see myself getting it. if
Sorry,
I
what
cared
was the
enough
price,
about it.
Rollo?
25 USD.
25. Okay.
It is one of the nicer styles of like glasses case in general.
Yeah.
It's not the kind they give you for free when you get glasses from an optometrist.
Right. Okay, and I like that it's foldable, so that when there's nothing in it, you can just fold it, and it's This is the weirdest one, the key case, which is for holding keys. Do we have a price on this one?
Here, let me get it.
Can I just get?
Yeah.
I mean, was gonna say I'd rather just a wallet, but we'll get onto that.
Yeah.
That's $30 dues.
$30 dues for something that will hold. I can't see how many hooks it has, but it looks like 5.
Yeah,
5
4 or 5,
keys.
yeah.
It has 4 hooks.
4 hooks. So for your 4 keys, well, I mean, you can hold a key. Yeah, 4. How would you going to keep like a keychain? You can't keep a keychain, so it's for single keys. So 4 keys. Okay. I don't know. I find this to be a little strange.
Is this like more of a Japanese thing?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Possibly.
that's what I have to imagine. I can't imagine this being very common outside of Japan.
But I've seen these pop up very recently, so this might be like a new trend that's like just starting to hit.
Also, if you go to the next item, you'll see an example of the keys they have in Japan.
Yeah.
that's a fucking skeleton key for like your mom's haunted attic.
Yes.
Canterbury Commons or something.
Yes, so here's the wallet. It's a compact wallet. How much is this one, Rollo? It'll probably be empty when you get it.
Oh, there's so many wallets on here.
Oh shit!
This is too small for me for a wallet.
Try searching
$55.
Well, that's an empty wallet when you get it. But there's not going to be any money in that.
Because, like, look at it. It barely fits that 20 yen note.
Oh yeah.
We've talked about this before.
That
I
is
think
a
we
20...
all hate thin wallets.
That's a euro.
Oh, that's a euro.
Yeah.
I don't recognize it.
So that's a European key. See, that's to the that's the key to the nunnery.
So above in the first one, that's what Japanese people use. In this one, this is the table of a European.
Yeah, this is the classic European table.
Your skeleton key, your receipt,
yeah,
your coffee,
yeah,
and your tiny plant.
Yes, your tiny European plant. So yeah, there's that. It's very small. Can fit. You have to fold your banknotes. I mean, you can fold your banknotes. I don't think that's a problem.
I don't like small. I hate slim wallets. I'm sorry. I know we talked about this. I can't stand having like one little pocket for all my cards.
Right, and then when it's time to like pay, you're like, you just like try to rip out, be like, fuck, it's stuck. I hate that. All right. Here's a stole.
Stole?
That's what it says.
It's one of the words. It's a type of like scarf.
This is $45.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it's
Stole's
fashion.
like Stole's even outside of like Square Enix store can get quite expensive. That doesn't surprise me that much.
I don't think this is available in. This might not. Is this available everywhere?
This is available in the States at least.
Okay.
It's out of stock right now. So good luck if you want to stole. But should have stolen it.
This one confused me. A sling bag? Is that what we call it now?
He calls it that.
Is that what?
No.
Okay, but that's what they call it here.
I think because they don't want to say.
Oh,
fanny pack.
you know, it's because it's a European post.
Because they don't want to say fanny pack.
The British don't want to say fanny pack.
I mean, then call it like a bum bag.
Oh my god, that's what they call it.
This is $90.
$90? Oh my god, that's 120 euros for me to get that. That is one expensive fanny pack. Holy farts. Wow. Is it leather? Is it faux leather? Is that why it's so expensive?
Do you want to keep things that close to your butt for $90?
This is not leather. This is polyester, so it's like fucking it's that PU leather, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
it's
okay.
So it will stick to you.
It's not gonna. That's a cheap one.
That is okay. Well, get what you want. You know, it's your money, but it's there you go. That's the crew.
Entire set.
Yeah, get the entire set. Only 500 euros.
if you have this on display all at once, you are liable to be robbed. I'm sorry. You've shown what a fool you are with money.
Okay, so that is the merchandise spotlight. Now, next we have the vinyl LP box. Now, this one I feel is more. I defend the price more here for the full collection because it's $100. Each LP is $30.
Individually.
So you're saving by buying the collection essentially, right? You would.
Saving 20 USD.
Yeah. And it has some really cool art on it. And this one actually has a tiny mini interview with Soken about it, and some other guy, which we'll learn more about. This is from Bayonne. From the community team. Following our recent coverage of the new merchandise that debuted during the Digital Fan Festival, today we'd like to showcase our music-related merchandise, the Final Fantasy XIV vinyl LP box. If the vinyls have printed pictures, it fucks up the grooves, and I don't think... No, there's nothing printed on the vinyls, Trista. It's just the sleeves, the jackets. This is our first time releasing LP merchandise for Final Fantasy XIV, and is sure to be a must-have for record enthusiasts. For those curious what records are, allow us to describe a bit of their appeal. I'm sorry. Did I read that? Am I this old that I'm literally reading a post where they're like, for those curious what records are?
I would be curious. Rollo, does your niece know what a record is?
My niece can barely talk.
Okay, so no.
So no. She runs at me and goes, Tio, no. She call me uncle in Spanish all day. That's it.
But I thought that vinyl was something that had come back, that the Zoomers wanted.
Yeah, but I don't know necessarily if...
Oh my god, is it our generation that is bringing it back? Is that why? Isn't there like, why?
Maybe.
Oh, that's sad. Okay, well, now I'm feeling very old now.
I want fucking the Final Fantasy XIV LPs on cassettes. I want an A side and a B side.
I hope cassettes and singles never come back.
You can buy some songs on on Bandcamp, like indie stuff, on cassette.
Oh yeah,
I bought a cassette.
Yeah,
last year actually.
Oh my god! Wow. I love the sound of like a cassette going, and you turn it on and it goes before the track begins. Love that.
Yeah.
All right. So the eye-catching jacket illustrations were designed by Kuroyomori. Yeah, there you go. Whose work was also featured. Do you like that when I read, every time I reread a word, my voice volume increases slightly every time until I'm screaming it. Whose work was also featured in our Japanese freestyle art gallery. The warm and nostalgic colors and effects are quite striking. The characters are drawn with soft brush strokes, and the backgrounds are illustrated in minute detail. We highly recommend taking a look at the physical illustrations yourself. The dimensions of these LP jackets are approximately 12.2 inches by 12.2 inches. That's 310 millimeters by 310 millimeters. So you can enjoy the beautiful... Why was that in millimeters? It's an odd thing to do, but all right.
That's a strange, yeah.
So you can enjoy...
You could just say 31 centimeters.
Yeah. So you can enjoy the beautiful artwork in all its glory. But the jacket isn't the only thing that's amazing about this LP. The sound quality of our record is heavily influenced by the process of cutting grooves in the vinyl. In our case, the LP records are crafted by none other than American audio engineer Bernie Grundman.
Not Bernie Gondom. That's someone else.
No. There he is at work, clearly making he makes every single record, by the way. He sits by hand and spins the thing. Yeah.
Maybe. You might be right.
You know what? That's sad, but yeah. Bernie Grundman is an audio mastering engineer from the United States. As an engineer, he has contributed to the work of some of the biggest names in music, such as Carole King, Michael Jackson, and Steely Dan. He's a celebrity who's been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards and many other commendations. We even spoke with the legend himself. Here's a webcam screenshot. And here's another one of Soken, clearly also from Skype or some other video conference software. The following is
We
a
didn't
summary.
bother to cut off the black edges of the picture.
No, and because we couldn't give Soken a real widescreen camera, he has to broadcast in 4:3. The following is a summary of.
What if we still broadcast in 4:3?
We broadcast in.
Yes, sorry.
We broadcast in 16:9, but I guess our. Do we? Actually, don't know if Discord allows widescreen or 16:9. All right. Anyways, the following is a summary of a conversation during a remote meeting held in April. Oh, see, they at least they told us. They told. I was suspicious. I was like, this doesn't look like this happened, but okay, it was a remote meeting. All right. Okay. Good. All right. FFXIV sound director Masayoshi Soken. How was the audio I sent you? Okay.
Read the interview.
This is clearly not staged, everyone. How was the audio I clearly sent you just now? Bernie Grunman, great job. The composition was obviously wonderful, but even the parts that are difficult to adjust, like the enunciation of the female vocals, were processed very neatly. Data loss, whether it be great or small, is inevitable when mastering the original sound data onto a storage device, but with my studio and specialized tools, I was able to master the audio to sound clear and natural. This is like, isn't this like the endless argument for records or vinyl, is that the audio is so good, it's so natural? Isn't that why everyone wanted it back? But then most people that re-release stuff on vinyl nowadays have already done the data loss thing, so it's already like digitized. It's not analog at all, so it's still kind of shit, and you're just overpaying for something that looks cool in your living room.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want lossless, you know what you got to do. Get a FLAC.
Yeah, but listen, Bernie Grunman, no loss. There's no loss here. It's
Not a single one.
No. So when I previously listened to a record you mastered, I was blown away by the sheer range of sounds that could be expressed with records. Bernie says, when it comes to data, it can be prone to digital irregularities, like sounds becoming too sharp. It's as sharp as S I can do.
Go on.
With records, they produce true sound based on a physical representation, so it's harder for that sort of thing to happen. Analog methods are about how beautifully they can channel the signals. Records are wonderful, not just their sounds, but their size, their jackets, and illustrations too. Even if digital and... You know it. Even if digital and streaming can be convenient, I think being able to store audio in a physical form is something that's important nowadays. Okay, yeah. Soken, that's true. The sound wasn't the only element where we focused on quality. We emphasized it in the packaging too. It's Kuriyomori's artwork, and we specifically selected the paper and colors to be used. I think it turned out wonderfully, so I'd like to get it out there for everyone as soon as possible. Soken and Bernie seemed to have a blast as they continued talking about all sorts of technical topics, but perhaps that's a tale for another time. I'm gonna say they went, thank you for that, goodbye. We hope you'll pick up one up for yourself and enjoy the warm sounds unique to records. And they also come with a code to download the songs in lossy MP3. The vinyl LP box will be available around August 31st, 2021. Check out the promotional site for the track list and other product details. There you go.
I mean, I don't have a record player in my car, so I can understand that.
I wish people had record players in their cars. That was never a
I
real
don't know.
thing. And I just think
that's really bad for the records.
I love like bad, inconvenient design. Like
that's why they made 8 tracks. They were like, we can't put a record player in a car. So they made fucking 8 tracks.
Right. So that's that. Vinyl, $100 for the whole thing. $30 per pop. If you know what a record is, go get one.
My friend's grabbing one. Maybe I'll take some pictures of his and look it at cold or something.
I kind of wanted to get this, but I'm like, am I gonna listen to it ever?
Are you a vinyl guy?
No.
Do you have a record player?
No, I would have to buy a record player, obviously. Record players, well,
obviously.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I would
I don't know what you have.
who has, if you're below, okay, and no, I'm setting myself up for like flack now.
No,
because
just go in. The
Okay,
autofiles will kill you anyway.
if you're below 50, do you have a record player? Oh no, maybe 50 is too high. When did record players have, like 80s? Were they still?
I think they stopped in the 80s.
They stopped at like.
I think I'm going to say the 70s
There's a
is like
fall
the
off.
last decade they were really relevant.
But they did exist in the 80s as well. But they sort of faded out and then
Well,
died
yeah.
in the 90s. And I think they died like completely in the 90s,
They
right?
they died around the time that cassettes
CD
were
and cassettes.
relevant.
CDs came out like early
cassettes-
90s, right?
Yeah, but cassettes came first.
Yeah. Cassettes were like immediate, like in the middle thing, medium.
Mhm.
If you
I don't
want a
know.
good audio setup, they aren't bad. They aren't that expensive, by the way. It's like $150 for a nice turntable, some good speakers.
Yeah.
It's doable.
Make sure you get good ones though, like because you can get scammed very easily. There's a lot of very cheap ones out there that are not good.
Get a nice
Do
Audio
your
Technica.
research.
Yes. Also remember, this is like this is analog media, so you need those. What are they called? The tips.
Needles?
Stylus. That's what they're called. Yeah, they need to be changed every now and then. So make sure you buy a lot of those.
You want a good counterbalance on there too.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're turning into tech mode. Right. Let's mention that Asmongold is going to play 14.
Oh yeah, that's happening. That's a YouTuber.
That's
Streamer?
a YouTuber. That's a stream. I think it was streamer is the more
A
appropriate
Twitcher,
term.
as they say.
I think we say streamer. I think that's what we have decided to go with the whole world.
Like we call them Twitchies. Come on, I'm hip.
Yeah, he announced it yesterday after we had finished our show notes, I think. That's when he made the official announcement on Twitter. So, be nice.
Hope that goes well for him.
Yeah.
And I hope his own audience and anyone else who watches
I know it's exciting.
doesn't just fucking shout at him.
I understand it's exciting because it's him, right? But I've already told you about how annoying it is when you WoW players play 14 and there's all these people in chat going, "Oh yeah, they look like this." Stop! Don't do that. Be nice. Let him play the game, because we're going to be like, all the WoW players are going to shit all over the game in chat. You are just as bad sometimes, so you just chill the fuck off. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Do you think? Because you know how especially when Classic came out for a while, there was streamer servers where if a streamer was on this server, that was basically their server because people would crowd them.
Yeah.
And literally do everything for them, and
Yeah.
you couldn't even really kill them in PvP because they just do that. I mean, obviously the same can't happen in 14 because it's that. But what if Asmongold comes to your server?
Yeah.
And it's just anywhere he goes, you look at shout chat. And it's
Good luck to the server he picks, because your server is about to change forever. So I'll be watching that with bated breath. I'm glad I'm in the EU. He's obviously not going to come here. So good luck, North America. Yeah. It's.
I don't think it will happen, but I don't know. I guess it could be. It could.
Yeah. Oh my God! You didn't even put in the 14 versus the player numbers thing. That's very relevant. We're in a time of great change in terms of community, it seems, because 14 has, if you look, I will say, the numbers, I'm not sure if I can quite trust the source, but I will say it is very obvious that we are very close to, at least, overtaking World of Warcraft. Which is a huge deal. World of Warcraft has been at the top in terms. This is in terms of active players, not total players. Active players. That's never happened. Essentially, World of Warcraft has. I'm not going to be that. I'm not sure in the early days. Maybe RuneScape was higher than WoW at some point, but. For
Free to play, so it's
that's
hard.
True. Yeah.
Since the early 2000s.
Yeah. Since so it has been the biggest MMO out there, and now 14 has caught up with it, and very big World of Warcraft content creators are moving over to World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I never thought that was gonna happen.
We did it. The WoW killer happened, guys.
It just happened 10 years later.
It only took a decade.
Yeah.
It only took a decade for an MMO that might have been a WoW killer to actually become that.
I remember when we were like battling with Elder Scrolls Online. Like when that was like the battle everyone cared about, because World of Warcraft was so far away, it was not even worth talking about. Or like, but we have to focus on like the people in our own group, like the games in in our little peasant corner. But now, here we are. We can. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I've thought about that a lot this week. I'm like, this is unbelievable that this is happening. And it's not even an expansion launch. Like we're 6 months of drought ahead. And this is happening now. Bizarre.
Well, yeah, I would have to say I agree with chat that like Square Enix have been doing very well with 14.
Yes.
But I would say a lot of the reason that WoW has been falling off are self-inflicted wounds.
Oh, absolutely. World of Warcraft is in a state right now, and that's obviously why they're jumping. I mean, look at their content releases. Compare them to ours.
They apparently still haven't got their 0.1 patch after Shadowlands.
No.
Shadowlands was like November last year, right?
Yeah. It's rough.
What do you do in game? What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Are you just grinding for gear? That sounds miserable.
Yeah. Maybe this will make Blizzard wake up. Like I don't like the idea of WoW dying. Because WoW, there aren't that many big MMOs, and WoW's sort of always been like, they've set a standard. I don't like having just one big. It's okay to have two big ones. I mean, we can have many big ones. And also the pain of being like a WoW player and being like, my game's dying, dude. That is not a good feeling. So I hope maybe this makes Blizzard like wake up. Like the warning lights they should have been started flashing a long time ago, but maybe now they're paying more attention.
Now they're going to put a big MSQ in the next expansion, and you're going to have to do all of the quests and make little story decisions, and there's going to be a little cat boy who's nice to you.
Maybe this will lead to that WoW crossover. Wouldn't that be
crazy?
That is crazy, because it would at this point probably benefit both. Because 14 is so big now that people will be like, maybe I should go check out that crossover on WoW. I don't know. Yeah, we also have the added benefit of having devs that actually care about everything and everyone, the community, the game. I mean, World of Warcraft's devs they have like this weird like PR team that deals with like they're very removed from their devs in World of Warcraft. We are very lucky with how stuff is working. Yeah.
I don't think they hate making their own game or anything like that.
Oh, they don't hate the game. No.
Yeah, but you could not imagine having like a fan fest like we do with like, members of the development team in a band. And everyone goes crazy. Everyone goes crazy for it.
Right.
People lose their mind.
Yeah. Right.
Seeing fucking.
They're doing the fucking meme dance in the background.
Yeah. Like, not that they don't have big events too, but
yeah,
it's definitely not the same kind of engagement you're getting.
Right. Yeah.
And like, you wouldn't imagine a member of the Blizzard team playing the automaton in front of a bewildered pianist.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. Well, everyone is welcome to 14. You guys be nice. You guys, I see you already in chat. You're like, all these WoW players going to ruin. I mean, we technically said good luck if your server is picked as Asmongold, but there's going to be a time of transition. But remember, you can change their ways. Just kill them with kindness.
There's no mythic rating. You don't have. You can stop the grind. You're free.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that'll be interesting to see how this goes. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, it's just my 1.0 brain cannot handle this information because that
From
is
a game where you couldn't even jump.
from a from a game that couldn't even it was literally no one's competition. Like it could not compete with anyone at the time. People didn't even, and now we're here. Bizarre. What a turnaround. All right. So there is a 14-hour broadcast happening this year. It was originally cancelled because of the situation, and now it is back. Following the delays due to the COVID-19 situation and state of emergency in Japan, we are pleased to finally announce the 7th 14-hour broadcast starting on Friday, July 9th, 2021 at 6 p.m. PDT. The details will be announced later. As usual, note that the audio will be available in Japanese only. And there will, of course, be preventative measures against COVID-19. You know the deal. Cool to see it back. Still strange that it is not. There's nothing for the non-Japanese part of the player base, which at this point, I mean, quite. Last year we talked about it. I said it's quite a substantial part of the player base that don't speak Japanese. What we just talked about, it's even bigger now. It's still strange that they're making events exclusive to Japan only.
I mean, hey, they're Japanese.
Yeah,
you know.
I know. It's just a stupid
there's lots
argument.
Of English-only events in other games.
English other events, but that's because it's aimed at the world. That's why it's English. I'm Norwegian. I don't know if you know.
That's fucked up.
There are no events in Norwegian for me. I feel left out. Yeah, what are you saying, Gary?
Do you think we'll get a live letter during the 14-hour stream?
Ooh, that's a good question. July 9th. Well, yeah, maybe. I haven't thought of that.
It would be like one of the last two. I feel like there's only going to be 2 and at most 3 live letters between now and the launch of Endwalker.
Yeah. Maybe it's.
Oh yeah, they need to explain data center visits. So maybe.
True.
Fuck, that's gonna happen. I forgot.
Yeah, you know what?
Happened before.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's probably gonna be posted later. The fan live letter. God damn, speech difficult for me. All right. That's that. So special 14-hour broadcast, July 9th, 6 p.m. PDT. Be there or be not Japanese. All right. Moving on. Interview time. This is from Gamerscape. We have to read this because of a very Square Enix kind of problem, which you will understand when we get to it. This, like I said, this is Gamerscape. All right. Now that FanFest 2021 is wrapped up, we have had a chance to ask Final Fantasy XIV's Naoki Yoshida a handful of questions that still lingered in our minds in the weeks after the event. I love Gamerscape's interviews, by the way, because I feel like they ask the questions. Do you know what I mean? Like other interviews are usually like they have a vague idea of what the game is. What the game is? You know what happened? I was thinking about the ice cream that I have in the freezer, and that's is in Norwegian, and my brain was like, I want is. Anyways, they other interviews, they're usually like, I have a vague idea of what the game is. I'm gonna ask some vague questions like, how did you work through the pandemic? And then he's like, it was very difficult, and we get those questions.
Wait.
Yes?
Stop. Ubisoft just announced Mario Rabbids Sparks of hope for the Switch.
You're announced.
Oh.
Thank you, Rollo. Also, I saw that on my screen a long time ago, like 15 minutes ago, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to mention this. But thank you, Rollo. You'll love the silence after you said that, like no one cared. All right. Anyways, Gamerscape, good interviews. Anyways, it's great to see that Endwalker will have so many things that are original to Final Fantasy XIV. Could you tell us how the development team came up with the ideas for Sage and Reaper? Every time we design a new job for the game, we first consider the overall design of Final Fantasy XIV at the present and decide on the role of the job first. In Shadowbringers, we were planning to add either a tank or a healer, and we ultimately chose a tank at that time. However, since then, we've seen many requests from players around the world asking for a new healer, and conversely, we weren't intent on adding a healer with Endwalker.
We were intent.
Sorry, we were intent. The other job was decided to be a DPS, and in consideration of balancing the DPS roles, we decided on a melee DPS that used the same gear types as the Dragoon. Roughly speaking, our next step would be to decide on the weapon for the job. Many players had requested a job that utilizes a two-handed scythe, so it was a fairly smooth process. We already know. This is a question this is an answer we've already read, to settle on that weapon for the Reaper. Once we decided on the scythe, our thoughts went from that to a Grim Reaper, which in turn was extrapolated into the idea of implementing an avatar. When it came to the Sage, we really struggled with, okay, you know what? We already know this one. That is a copy-paste answer from Yoshi-P. He's already learned that answer, and he just gives it to everyone who asks about the jobs. Okay, let's move on to the other one. Lots of players are excited for male Viera. Some, however, are still wondering about the newer races' lack of hairstyles, lack of visible head equipment, and, in the case of Hrothgar, needing a Fantasia to change their existing hairstyles. Are there any plans to level the playing field for Viera and Hrothgar players by making adjustments to those issues? Naoki Yoshida says, for both the Viera and Hrothgar, there are certain characteristics we wanted to emphasize in their design. The long ears of the Viera and beast-like features of the Hrothgar. Due to this, there was a limit to the range of customization, and we worked with these conditions when creating these races. If we wanted to make these features more customizable, we'd have to sacrifice those unique features, so it would be great if everyone could understand that at a fundamental level, he's so angry when he says that, it would be great if everyone could just understand that at a fundamental level, it is not simply a matter of whether or not we make adjustments to accommodate this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have mentioned this on several occasions, but I understand why players request this. Okay, I understand why players request this. I really do. In an effort to accommodate this, even if just a little bit, we have continued to spend a lot of time assessing possible changes in structural design of the models, as well as potential additions to our current workflow. Even as I write this, I just met with a team to get an update on their testing status for this. We may not be able to get them to be exactly the same as the other playable races, but I hope to be able to give you some kind of update soon, including the status on the stubble for Hure, as you asked about previously. So your patience on the matter is greatly appreciated.
Love that little call out. It's like, yeah, I remember we asked about the fucking stubble too.
Yeah. Stop asking about the fucking stubble!
I like that because the question was double-barreled, he was able to completely sidestep the question about needing a Fantasia to change hairstyles.
Conveniently ignored that part. Yeah, that is...
It's not a no.
Yeah, I think that's... it's a thing. The Hrothgar's... Yeah. Why can't they do hairstyles for Hrothgar just normal?
See, I understand the Hrothgar hairstyle thing a little bit, because the hairstyles are tied to the face shape, but each face has two styles of hair. You should at least be able to swap between those two.
Or they should make an exception and allow them to allow Hrothgar alone to change the head shape to change their hair.
That is another possibility, which I think is less likely to happen.
I know, because we also know why it's less likely to happen. Fantasia costs money.
Ooh, like spending money, don't you?
Ka-ching, bye-bye. All right. With data center travel coming soon, it feels like we're nearing the end of the path that started with World Visit. From a development standpoint, will data center travel and the technology behind it allow you to do things with future content that you weren't able to do before? Yoshida says, right now, well, we'll see. Okay, right now we are putting in all our effort into making travel between data centers a reality. So at present, I do not have anything formulated in regard to further game content or system expansions. When going back and forth between data centers, our frontier servers, which are implemented on a higher tier than the game servers, need to relay information on each character. In order to keep a high processing speed for the frontier servers, they are set up so that the server does not know information on a player's character's free company or the whereabouts of its members. Unlike the World Visit system, the player will not be able to carry over information on their free company or cross-world link shells to another data center. That's why we call this travel, and it is intended as a temporary visit. Using this to create new content will be quite a challenge given the fact that certain information is being withheld during travel. However, I feel that this would enable everyone in the community to hold more large-scale events or create more opportunities to meet and make new friends. I believe this is the biggest advantage of this system. Hold on. It holds back information. So, would you not be able to, like, level?
I don't imagine that's the case. It's holding back certain things that are tied to the servers. Your level is tied to your character.
That's true. That's true. That's fair. Okay, so you're essentially... Okay, so if all you're losing is free company and crossword link shells, that's fine. Right? That's not... I mean, you're a little...
Well, that's all he's mentioned.
You're a little isolated, though. Like, because you can't talk to...
Well, that's traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, blocks access to the market board and retainers probably as well, stuff like that. Like, other...
Livable stuff, though.
Yeah.
Especially for the feature being to go to another data center.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Eternal Bond Ceremony, probably not possible, considering we can't even do that with the current system. So, yeah.
Why that one? Is it because of the invites or something? Like, is there something?
There's something
hard.
I don't know. It's a bit. This is a mystery to me.
It's an instance like any other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone will ever ask this, but that would be a question I'd like someone to ask the developers in one of these interviews at some point.
I agree. Anyone out there, if you're ever going to have an interview Yoshi-P, ask that on our behalf, please.
And then say Speakers was responsible for this question so he can direct his anger towards us specifically.
Yes.
I don't think it will make him angry. I feel like it's not the kind of question that...
I have mentioned this on several occasions. Okay. Right, so now on to the thing I teased earlier. This is not good. It's bad. It's a tease for something bad.
Tease. Thomas.
With previous expansion releases, players often got a heads up for when they could pre-order the collector's edition. Was there a reason that didn't happen this time around? Are there plans to make more physical collector's editions for those players that weren't able to secure a pre-order? So let's just explain that real quick. There was no proper lead up to the collector's edition going on sale. There was the announcement of the collector's edition during FanFest, and then it just went on sale. Was it the following day? Like after FanFest had ended?
I think it was that same night, wasn't it?
The same night for North America, I think. Yeah, it went on earlier for North America than for Europe. Europe was 12 or noon, I think, my time or something. And
I think I remember almost immediately after I could go to the store, and it was in stock, and I almost bought it, but I didn't.
Yeah. North America was same night, and then Europe was the following morning. But still, you would have to have watched. Imagine most people that are not staying up to watch FanFest would have gone to bed, gone to work, and then come home. I'm talking about Europe right now. Come home. Let's say you're home at 4 or 5. By that time, it has already been sold out for 4 hours. It went on sale at noon. Fucked up.
Should have done it on your lunch at work.
Yeah.
You're a responsible 14 player.
So if you're wondering why that's fucked up, here's the answer Yoshi-P gave to when they'll restock. First, I want to should also mention that people that were like literally sat there and waited for it to go up live, some people couldn't even get it then. They were like, "Oh, you got it," and they're like, "Actually, you didn't." So there was that as well. Okay, Yoshida says, first, I want to apologize that we were unable to keep up with the large demand for the collector's edition. We had initially planned for our fan festivals to be physical events, but as each one was cancelled due to the coronavirus pandemic and having to pivot to one single digital event, it led to this misstep. With FanFest 2021 now one single event, we were heavily focused on the promotional aspects of the event, trying to make a big splash with major Endwalker news, and also announcing and beginning pre-orders for the title, while all of our fans were tuned in. Looking back on it, that goal was the impetus for the pre-orders starting so suddenly, and it was the big learning point for us. I do want to... Also... Not only that, when they showed off the collector's edition, they were like, "You will buy this. You will buy this with your money. This is are you a peasant?" That's literally what they did. That was their sales pitch. Do you want your friends to point and laugh at you for not having this? You will get this. And so it was, so I do want to note that we have continued to carefully consider the quantity of our physical collector's editions based on quantities and sales from previous expansions. However, the recent influx of players, which you constantly point out in every live letter, greatly surpassed our expectations, which resulted in a shortage of supply over the great demand for collector's editions. But here's the kicker. Unfortunately, it takes a very long time to produce all of the different merchandise items and figures for the collector's edition, and we tried to readjust the allocation globally, but every region was at their capacity, and we were unable to add any more stock. We hope you can understand, and again, I would like to give my sincerest apologies for this. That's not the answer we wanted. Yoshi-P, what? Where's the rest of your answer where you say, we'll restock soon? It's not there.
You get to say that when the system fucked up the way it did.
That is the weirdest response to this ever. Like, oh yeah, we're just not gonna make more. That was all we had, really. So, what are you, Sony with the PS5? What is this? It's bizarre. This is the game. This is the collector's edition for the game. The game has never been more popular. And what did they base their numbers on? Shadowbringers was like record numbers of people.
I mean, look at us. We're a competitor for WoW now.
Yeah. Bizarre. I wonder how many they sold. Like how many they made total.
I feel like this could be solved pretty easily by I think the people that want this will be happy with ordering it. They will get a code for the game, and then they can be told, we'll send you all the physical stuff later.
Yeah. Also, the game...
I think they will be...
The game is 6 months away.
Yeah.
So there's probably
that is
time.
Pretty crazy to be out 6 months before it's even out.
Yeah. What is this? And also no advertisements for the collector's edition went out. Nothing. It was like maybe on the day for Europe, like at like 9 a.m. I got an email with like, oh, collector's editions will be out at noon. Most people will be at work or whatever, or sleeping for that matter. Yeah, it's just, this is the strangest thing and handled in the worst way I think I've seen in terms of... This is the worst thing Yoshi-P has said this year. Yeah, there you go. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the people that didn't get it. There's quite a lot of you out there. So
you know what?
The people especially that waited,
that
were told they got it and then did not get it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That part's really bad, I think.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just don't care, and then it's not a problem anymore.
See?
There you go.
Classic.
There you go.
If
you just tell yourself you don't want it, then you don't want it, and then you don't care.
Just don't care. That's it.
Like you're going to make people very angry.
I'm sorry.
Rollo.
Yeah, don't.
That's not
It's a
sincere.
joke.
I mean,
it's a joke.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a good coping method.
But that's
for
essentially what Yoshi-P said. If you're really gonna put a spin on this, it's like he essentially just try to get over it. You didn't get it. You get over it. You don't have to care. All right.
Despite the fact that we told you that you're now a plebe because you didn't get it.
Did they never? Did they not?
That was a little mean-spirited.
Did they not restock for Shadowbringers?
I don't think they needed to.
Did it never? Oh, really? I have a feeling something restocked, but I'm. Oh, you know what? That was the Encyclopedia Eorzea. They actually restocked that once.
I still didn't get the second one. I don't have it yet. I missed the window like twice.
Oh, damn. Mm-hmm. Encyclopedia Eorzea Volume 1 doesn't exist on the European store. It isn't even like you can't even put it on yourself on a waiting list. It's like it never existed. All right, let's read this interview by Buffed. That was the Gamerscape interview. Buffed has some stuff as well. Mostly bullet points. This is a German interview, so it's been translated by the
yeah.
Okay, so some points on Reaper about playstyle. Nothing is fully set in stone. It's still in development.
I feel like it should be at this point.
Yeah. The avatar will not act like a pet. So there you go.
Good. Thank God. Fuck pets.
I couldn't imagine it working like a pet at all.
No. It looks like it'll just work like the Dark Knight double that you get. To put it simple, Reaper actions can be divided into 3 categories. Solo actions, actions executed by the avatar, and finally combined actions with both the player and the avatar. So I'm assuming you still get... Do you get a pet hotbar when it appears with the actions? Or do your existing actions turn into avatar actions?
So how I imagine this is what they've done with Summoner and Scholar as of Shadowbringers, which is most pet actions are now on the hotbar itself. So you execute them, and then 3 seconds later, your pet will execute them.
No, just don't say that.
Love that. Well, he did say they're nothing like pets, so maybe they're not. Maybe it's different.
I think it just means more like, I don't know, your character will like duck, and then a claw will come out from behind you.
Yeah.
Going through your rotation will accumulate some sort of gauge or stacks. Can't go into detail yet. That will allow you to use a strong combination action with your avatar. Okay, pretty straightforward. So here's some design choices and background. Always had a lot of feedback from players who asked for a scythe. We already heard that. Player, fan favorite, apparently.
NA and EU, all they want is a scythe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy weapons tend to give the image of a slow, hard-hitting playstyle, but that is not the case within Final Fantasy. Most attacks will be stylish and quick. Okay. We had a Reaper as you would see them on tarot cards in mind when thinking of the job concept, but also knew we wanted the avatar to play an important role. All right. If you want to
comparison, but interesting.
Yeah. If you want to think of it from a manga/anime perspective.
Sorry, I love this part.
Yagami Light from Death Note would be a suitable figure to compare it to.
You know what? I get that. That makes sense to me.
Well, I'm afraid
it's funny to hear it.
I'm afraid it's not done. A normal person, Yagami Light, or in our case, you, the player, enters a sort of contract with the devil, Ryuk, in Death Note, or the avatar in our case, that will create a very strong being in the end. Kira.
Quite the same, but I get it.
Yeah. Bleach, a very popular manga in Japan, has also influenced us, but as always, we're giving it our own spin and flair. All right.
I didn't watch this, so I don't know.
I love that they point out a normal person, Yagami Light. I don't know about that one. All right. Miscellaneous. A lot of players enjoy making new characters, but get scared of having to redo everything. Are there any plans to make achievements, minions, and mounts, or even glams account-wide? Short answer, no.
I couldn't imagine they would do so.
Yeah, that's that. Longer answer. There is New Game Plus if you want to play the story again. There are Fantasia if you want to change your looks. And if you want to make a new character for RP, get a level boost on the Mog Station, you fuck.
Just spend fucking money, you idiot.
Are you poor?
I feel if that level of bluntness is a result of it being
German.
Translated into German and then translated into English.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
It's funny because it feels like it just removes all the fluff from Yoshi-P's answers and just boils it down into how he really feels. In previous expansions, the new areas were always geographically close. This time, they seem to be a lot more spread, and we're even going to the moon. Do you think the playing experience might suffer if the new maps aren't as tied to each other as before? Yoshi-P says, no, I don't think it'll lead to a bad experience. All areas will be connected in some way or another. For example, if we wanted to go to Old Charlian, we will be going through Limsa Lominsa. For the new area Rads at Han, same for the new area Rads at Han. Even in Shadowbringers, Stormblood, the Warrior of Light had to travel far east. There were dungeons on the way and other encounters, but it ultimately helped the Warrior of Light get used to the new region. It'll be similar in Endwalker. We're going to the moon after all. I just can't tell you how yet.
I don't
see
know.
how the zones being far apart would affect the expansion.
No.
I feel like every zone is really self-contained for the most part, especially in Shadowbringers. Being Lakeland, you don't really get the feel like, oh, this is right next to Kalusha kind of thing, you know? You just know it as its own zone.
I mean, it's not right next to Kalusha. Kalusha's the only zone it's not connected to.
I should have said Ilmeg. But still, it's like, there's like even the gate towards it doesn't really look like it.
No.
Yeah,
that's true. The digital fan fest was a great event, and the fans were really excited, but it was a different experience than being there in person. What did you personally miss the most, especially when it comes to interaction with fans? Yoshida says, sadly, there was no other way because of the pandemic. Yes, we know. If the event was in person, I could have left the stage between segments, taken photos with fans, signing out autographs, or just listened to their feedback about the game. When I had the audience in front of me at past fan festivals, I was always able to see how they react to the things I said. This was obviously difficult this time. I was able to read comments, but I couldn't see the expressions fans were making, whether they'd be angry or annoyed or happy at what I was announcing. I wonder what it felt like when he announced Blue Mage. Remember that? As a limited job? Mm-hmm. That must have been an experience.
Did they say it was a limited job on stage?
Yeah.
No, they said limited job, but they didn't explain what that was during the keynote. It was only later that people became.
Remember, there was like people there was like murmuring in the audience. There was like a lot of. It was not the reaction they had hoped for, I think, or maybe it felt like they had expected it because they were kind of rushing through that bit a little. It was very odd. All right, let's talk about. Okay, so we're back to the Viera Rothgar hair and hats. Maybe maybe we'll get some answers this time. You announced that male Viera will be added in 6.0. A lot of players are still waiting for additional hairstyles or the option to wear hats on Viera or Rothgar. God, he must be so fucking tired of getting a... I mean, he should be tired of that because he should fix it. So, yeah. Are these being worked on and potentially introduced with the addition of male Viera? Short answer, not yet. Long answer.
Not a no.
First off, the reason why Viera and Rothgar can't wear hats right now is the following. We have very standardized specifications when it comes to headgear, and the unique design with the long ears on Viera doesn't always meet these specifications. If we allowed every headgear piece, it would lead to clipping or other errors. The unique design of Viera and Rothgar just prevents us from allowing these pieces. If we want to follow our specifications. Nevertheless, we are aware of player feedback, and we are definitely not the kind of dev team that ignores their player feedback. There were a few things we said would be impossible to do, but we worked hard on it and made it possible in the end. We have regular meetings. I was in one just yesterday, and we're planning on having another one this upcoming week, where we discuss how to lower development costs, or which options we have to add more hairstyles, or which options we have to add more hairstyles. The players can be assured that we are aware and thinking about this, but I am asking for a bit more patience and that you wait a little longer. I hope to have some good news soon. Coming soon, TM. Please look forward to it. See TM.
I think the 14 devs make a lot of quality gear sets and headpieces.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they're just like, fuck it. Like, sometimes, as a Mikote, you'll put on a hat and your ears will just vanish.
Yeah.
Or you'll be an Aura and you put on a helmet and they're just jutting out of nothing.
Yeah.
So,
And like,
yeah.
would it be so bad for some things for like Vieira just to do the same thing?
It's weird that they keep Vieira and Rothgar at this like higher standard of apparently when it comes to clipping.
Some gear sets don't even have tail holes.
Right.
Just
yeah, they kind of stopped doing that after a while. They're like, oh, what's the point? They're like, just let it clip through anyways.
So one thing I noticed recently is that one of the pant pieces from Pagelthan, instead of a tail hole, or instead of the tail just clipping through the pants, the back of the pants actually go underneath the tail. I'm like, wow, those are really low.
Oh, really?
you get like you get some like plumber's crack or something?
I mean, the game isn't designed to show that, but
No.
I feel like it would be there.
Modders. All right. Well,
plumber's crack.
Okay.
I noticed when I saw a particularly hussy-like character in the party finder at some point.
Shout out to all the hussies. You are loved. All right.
I hope they're working hard. I know it. I know they'll do it. It's just funny with some of the stuff we get in the meantime.
Yes, that's true.
What was that one hat they had it recently? The baseball cap for like the leather outfit?
Oh.
Your ears will just vanish.
Yeah. They are just gone. Yeah. That's so weird because that's such a simple thing to do. You just clip the ears through the fucking hat.
Like sometimes I understand with like some of the more complicated like helmets.
Remember how much effort they put into the fucking like the original the ear socks for the armor? Like bizarre. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Ronkin gear, right? The tome gear from the launch of Shadowbringers. When you put on the tank fending thing, the head is like thinner than any fucking character's head. So you're just squishing them into a little Wonkin tin can.
Soft heads. We have very soft heads.
It's soft like a baby soft spot, apparently.
We are just all soft spot, Rollo. The whole head. Oops, all soft spot. All right. All right. That's it. Let's read some MogMail. We have, you know what? I'm going to jump to 3 in here because I think the other one's kind of irrelevant. All right. Here is MogMail. MogMail. This is from Miles Sainsborough from Balmung. Greetings once again. The sudden surprise of updating the game's loading times and UI resolution was something I never knew I wanted, and I'm happy with how they did it. UI elements like the buff debuff icons, text, and other elements look a lot more crisp and far less crusty. And loading between zones is literally less than a second, for me, based on my PC hardware anyway. Small but notable quality of life updates like this makes the game feel fresh again, and it gives me a small bit of hope that in the future we'll get a texture update so that we no longer have to deal with super pixely and crusty clothes, looking at you, Hian, and Grahatia. What are your thoughts on these quality of life updates, and do you think we'll get better textures in the future? Well, we've sort of already talked about the textures, but it is interesting now thinking about what else they can update in terms of quality of life like that. Because what else is there?
RTX on.
Yeah, there is that.
I don't know.
The ray tracing is probably a thing that will come eventually. Do you think it'll come actually? It feels like...
I don't think so. It doesn't... I'll be honest. Like when I see ray tracing screenshots, I'm like, it doesn't
Well, isn't that the beauty of it though? Isn't it like very? I mean,
Like efficient, maybe?
it's
Is that what it is?
efficient. Yeah.
It's very efficient for like the
And it
amount
doesn't
of-
require much input from like the devs. Like it'll be like, okay, this is I think Georgi has froze. Oh no, he came back
No,
to
there's-
us. I think it's like, oh, this is water. You do water thing. You are reflective. You reflect, and that's essentially how that's a layman's explanation of ray tracing. But yeah, I think that's something they can probably do. It's from what I can gather, it's a very simple way of making your game look more next gen, even though it is somewhat old. Looking at you, World of Warcraft, for instance, right? The fact that they have ray tracing is kind of amazing. Or is it? Maybe it isn't. I just think it's just new technology, and I'm like, wow, much technology.
I feel like ray tracing sometimes you'll notice it a lot in shit like maybe like Cyberpunk, because it's like volumetric lighting kind of thing. You see like lots of god rays and light shafts.
Yeah.
We don't really have that kind of thing in 14 as often.
Right.
And
That's
when
true.
we do, it's more like 2D sprites that already look really good because they're 2D sprites.
Yeah. The only thing I can really see benefit from it is water, because the water in 14 looks. Looks.
Or maybe
Yeah.
maybe some of the low frame rate reflections could be fixed.
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
Because sometimes you'll just look at the ground and see the boss, and it'll be like a 12 FPS. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Or you know what? The shimmering, like, you know when you look at some like terrain textures, and you turn the camera at a weird angle, and it gets like this weird fucking shimmer through it.
Is that the yeah?
And it happens so often.
Is that the tessellation thing fucking up?
That's the tessellation,
yeah. There's also there's one thing I want. It's like the aliasing needs to be fixed in this game.
It's still FFXIV, right?
Yeah. So
That's bad.
That's bad, and you can really see it. Remember when they showed off Charlian like in game? You could see all the aliasing, like the artifacting happening in the background.
I don't even
like,
think they had any on. I think it was just
they just
raw pixels.
Yeah. That's If I'm gonna be realistic, just any kind of anti-aliasing other than what we currently have, because we have like the barest minimum of aliasing.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with
or
using it.
anti-aliasing even.
It can look good sometimes.
14
it's
does
cheap.
not. 14 does not look good with aliasing right now. It is reshade is the only way to get good aliasing right now. I keep saying aliasing, anti-aliasing even. Yeah.
Someone said in the chat too, just stuff like more bones, I think. It's for stuff like hairstyles and armor.
I said this, I don't know if this was on the podcast or not. Can we stop saying bones?
No, boning. Boning is
rigging. Rigging is the
bones.
term that we accepted as a game development community many years ago.
I reject I reject the word. Boning is the word. We use bones, therefore boning. It is very strange that they keep calling it that. Bones are used in the industry, but boning?
Boning is not.
Do we say boning? We say boning.
I think boning is a term that is used in the English-speaking.
No.
Yeah, rigging bones, but no one says boning.
No.
Boning we have established in the English language means something else.
Yes.
There is no boning in this industry. Sorry.
There's no boning zone. So more bones and more physics. Give it.
You know, actually, you know what I want?
What?
I want clanky armor.
I
like
clanky armor.
You know, like when you walk in Dark Souls and you have like heavy armor, you go like, clank, that. Every single time I'm in a dungeon, it's just endless clanking of people walking.
I would hate that. I already hate like big Magitech mounts, like the Magitech armor or the what's the other one called? The one from Alamigo? Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't like the noises they make as they walk.
Right. Yeah.
I want the clickety clank. Add more, please.
Yeah, more clickety clank, more bone, and anti-aliasing. All right, that's all we want for Christmas. That's it for the show, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember to stay tuned for the post show that is coming up if you're watching live. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, exclamation Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Send us MogMail, speakersxiv.com/MogMail. That's it. We'll see you in the post show. Be nice and eat pies. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.